Hi, my name is Sheila Hill, and I am an intuitive life coach and a spiritual guide. Doing this video today entitled You Are a Micro Universe Operating Within a Macro Universe. So I want to elaborate a little bit on what that means. When your soul decided that it wanted to come down into human form and participate in this third dimensional reality, it designed its entire experience before it came. It sort of contracted and hired all of the actors or the people that were going to be in and within that experience. It determined what parts or pieces of the Akashic records were going to be cleared and healed during this lifetime. And then it came in and incarnated in human form. So how that plays out in your day-to-day human life from a practical perspective is that everything that is sort of in your lane, in your face, in your experience is there by design for you, to remind you, to awaken you, to help your soul clear its Akashic record, and to allow your soul to have the experiences that it designed itself to come here to have. So you are within yourself, your own micro or mini universe, having its own unilateral singular experience here on the planet. Where things start to get a little bit crazy, wobbly, unsettling, is that each and every one of us is a micro universe having the experience within the macro universe. And it's almost as though our universes, our experiences are see-through. So if we didn't actually see what someone else was experiencing or doing or going through, or the abundance that they have that we don't have, etc., etc., we would probably be able to stay in our own lane a little better and a little longer, and therefore experience more success within the design of the life that we came here to have. Where we get pulled out of that alignment is by watching what others are doing, creating, and having. And that is only true for them. But it plays very, very heavily into our inner thought loops, which create our vibration, which then helps in the manifestation of our own life experiences. So to work on it through an example, perhaps you are looking for a new job and you have a friend on Facebook that has joined a network marketing team and she's selling products she loves and she's having lots of success. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to do what she's doing. And I'm going to do it the way she's doing it because obviously that is the ingredients for success. So you go off and you join the same networking company and you learn about the product and you're very passionate about it and it feels like the right fit for you. And you do all of the same social media, events, letters, contacts, networking. You do all of the same ingredients as this uber successful person that you know on Facebook. And you find little to no success in that. And then what happens? Then the inner thought loops start to increase, and you're starting to feed yourself more disempowering thoughts and beliefs. I can't do this. I must not be as smart as her. Success must only be for her, not for me. I'll always be poor. I'm a loser. Whatever the story is that you end up telling yourself that moves you even further and further out of vibration with your own internal guidance system, your higher self, and the life that you designed before you came. So that person that you know on Facebook that joined the network marketing company and sells the product she's passionate about and does very well doing so is likely having the success that she's having because there is a component within that experience, being the owner of that company, etc., etc., there's a component within that experience that is required for her next step in her own soul's evolution. There is someone that she needs to meet, engage with, an experience that needs to be had, a confidence that needs to be built that will take her to the next level. Whatever that might be, it's not necessarily the product that she's selling or the monetary success that she's finding. It's that for her, in the life that she designed for her micro universe, there are components to this that are feeding her plan. That your plan, which you don't know, and neither does she, neither do I, frankly, but your plan doesn't have those same components. The growth, the experiences, the expansion, and the clearings that are required of your life experience are going to be very different than other people, which makes it so incredibly important for you to stay in your own lane. Another example that I can share with this is with the respect of being a light worker. So I fall under that category. I am here, a being of light, as a spiritual teacher, but you don't have to be, as a light worker. Now, I know other light workers that support light workers. I know other light workers that don't do anything within the spiritual community as a teacher, a leader, a guide, or anything at all. I know of other light workers that are heavily invested in, excuse me, the entire disclosure movement, which is important. That's the piece of the piece of light work that is, when I say disclosure movement, that's the piece of light work that is involved in bringing truth, integrity, and unveiling and revealing corruption and things like that that have been happening within the third dimensional matrix for a number of years. So it's all light work. It all looks very, very different, but our soul's plan and the way we designed our light working activities to be are all very different. Now, because we all call ourselves light workers, and quite frankly, anyone that is sharing their light with others are light workers. But for the context of this, there was a time in my life where as a light worker, I was like, oh, geez, well, I'm not out protesting and I'm not getting involved in all of this other stuff. And, I'm not studying these other, facets of governmental structures and things like that that need to be dismantled. And, well, what about the financial industry? And I walked away from that in my third dimensional reality. And well, what am I doing? Am I not being the right kind of light worker? Because I'm not covering all of these categories. And the truth is that my life by design, the way that I structured it before I came in, was for me to stay in the lane that I'm in. And the lane that I'm in, personally for my own journey, and then for how I bring service to the planet, is that I only work in the light. I am in the light whether I'm working or not. And that is the way that I designed it as to the type of light worker I was going to be. So there's two really good examples that really show you how you could call it comparison can be the killer of creation, which is another phrase that I love to use. But it's just really important for you to understand that although we do and are all one from one perspective, that from a very concrete and human perspective, it's really important for you to understand that what is in front of you, who is in front of you, and whatever you are doing is you being guided through the life that you designed to have when you came here. One other example popped into my mind. I have a client that said that he was really struggling with the fact, he's a teacher, that he works sort of white collar work, clean hands, good hours, etc., and that he finds sometimes himself feeling a little bit guilty about his privilege when he compares himself to other people that perhaps work 50, 60 hours a week. Perhaps they work in a factory. Perhaps the conditions in which they work are not as favorable as what his are. And so he said that he sort of, in order to feel like he has to earn his paycheck, to be worthy of the fact that he has somewhat of a privileged job, he works 12 hours a day anyway. He goes in very early, he volunteers for all the extracurriculars, he puts 150% of himself into his job because he feels like he's sort of hustling for the worthiness of the life that he created. And when I explained that to him, when I was explaining to him where that was coming from, we used the analogy of, you know, you're driving in the HOV lane and looking at the other people that are stuck in traffic and feeling guilty that you're in the HOV lane. Whereas in that particular example, someone who is sitting in traffic may be being taught the gift of patience. Whereas the person in the HOV lane just has to get to the next benchmark in their journey in order for their soul's evolution to continue. The same thing. There are experiences and people that he needs to interact with, service to his community, i.e. his students and his comrades and colleagues, that is by design created for him to have the job that he has. As the other people that work a little more hard, or the more difficult or dirtier jobs, or whatever label you want to put on them, there is something by design within that that is for them until it's no longer for them, and then things will change. So I just want you to begin to look at your own life, your reaction to it, put a little bit of blinders on so that you are trying more often to stay in your own lane and move through your own life experiences in the best way that you can without being distracted by how other people are doing it. So I hope that that helps. Please post any comments in the comments, and feel free to join my Facebook community. The link is also there in the video description. Until next time, love and blessings. Bye for now.